not me. Definitely not me.
That's exactly the same answer Jordan had.
Yeah. All right. So let me say good morning to everybody. Start us with. Oh, there's that little video. Ta-da!
There's Barb Blake. She's normally dancing.
And let me say good morning. Today is November 13, 2021. Thank you for joining. This is the Saturday service. I'm Rabbi Brian. I'm hosting, and I'm here live with these people. Hey, these people, why don't you wave and say hello to each other? Why not? And there are people who are watching afterwards. So my friend Miriam in Holland and Spain, she's in both places. She said she watches, so I wanted to do a little shout out to her and say hi. Glad you guys are here. And glad you're here. Whoever's watching this later or listening to it just on audio, I'm glad you're here. I have this thought. Oh, so apparently, so I said in the email that it was going to be, today's topic was going to be about something about grumpy.
There's no more grumpy.
No more grumpy. If you were under the impression that that's what we are going to talk about, I give you right to be grumpy, because that ship sailed. That is not the topic of today. The topic today.
I'm sorry.
So let me start with going back, because something 2 weeks ago and then last week, and I wanted to talk about. I wanted to center us here, and I had written in an email that went to everyone. I wrote, I can see the joy of doing services filled only with Gregorian chants. Because then, like, what's going to go wrong? And these services, and what we've been doing here, this is much more live and much more interactive. And go outside there, we'll sit down there. And it means I don't really have a lot of control of the horses with the reins. And I was thinking of it. This was a question. I don't know what it is you're learning and what you're getting out of this service. And I'd like us to talk about that some in a bit. So start thinking about that. And I want to start with this thought. Just show of hands, if you would. Show of hands if you think that it would be to our advantage. We're going straight in here. That you think it might be to our mental advantage if we could adopt the mindset all feedback is positive. So do you think that it would be in our, now this is a straw poll, we'll look at it more, that it could be in our best interest to think all feedback is positive? Would our life be...
I disagree.
Okay, good. And how many people would be, no, that there's no way in hell. That is just not, I heard somebody, so that it's all right. All right, so we know at least there's one person who disagrees. I didn't know who that was. That's fine. Let's talk about this for a second. If I think that all feedback is positive, what advantage am I going to have? If I think that all feedback coming at me, hey, you know what? This is great that I'm getting feedback. Wow, I get to, what is it that why is to me all feedback positive? Help me out. Yeah, Bob. I see Bob's hand's been up.
Yeah, are we then making a judgment?
Are we making a judgment? We're probably making a judgment. We have decided ahead of time that the feedback is good. I think so. Nancy has something you're
Minnesota,
saying.
I guess.
Well, one of my most famous lines that everyone who knows me is, there is no good or bad, it's all just information. It is our perspective and how we come at it that and then it does become a judgment that
Yeah.
it's good or bad. But I prefer to just say that's information,
So
and
would
I
you
can
would
take
you
it or leave
say
it.
having the information that's a benefit, it's better to have feedback than to not get the feedback? So you'd say
Yeah.
yes, and it's just information. It's not good or bad. It's just
Yeah,
feedback, and
and
feedback is good.
and by the way, the information could be, I don't want to hang out with this person. All they're just constantly throwing these opinions and criticisms of other people and myself at me. And so the information I got is that this isn't a person that's going to be in my inner circle. I mean, I just have no other way of looking at life
Okay,
except
I
that.
love it. Thank you, Nancy. Someone else have a thought they want to share on this? That all information, yeah, Jocelyn.
Yeah, I was just thinking, feedback, if it's negative, it's not called feedback, it's called a complaint.
Okay. Oh, interesting. But if I took it as, hey, I'm taking what you said. It's a complaint, but I'm taking it as I would. Here's where. Here. Wait. I have a show and tell moment. Hold on. Okay, wait. Wrong screen. Hold on. Here we go. This is last night. Can you spotlight me for a second, Alex? There we go. That's me. And that's me handing off a challah to my neighbor Emily.
Yum.
I make not you, Emily. Sorry, neighbor here in Portland, and I make her a challah every week, and I make her challah, and I make it like it takes a half hour to bake a full challah. She and her family like the challah baked to about 20 minutes. When you get bread and it's not all the way cooked and it's kind of like Play-Doh on the inside? That's how they like it. Apparently some of you do too. Yes. I don't. But here's the thing. I knew to make it like that because they gave me feedback over the last however long I've been making challahs for them. They would say, "Oh, I really like this week's. Oh, I really..." And the feedback led me to know what kind of challah to make for them. So I'm thinking that all feedback is information, and even if it's a complaint, hey, the challah was dry today, I can still take that and I can make it a positive.
That's true, but you still got to filter out whether it's about, if the complaint is about you or about somebody else. I mean, you still got to do some filtering mentally to make sure that,
But in that filtering, you're able to make decisions, discernments on what your next step will be or the particular situation that you're in. So all feedback would be beneficial to you at that time.
Right.
Yeah.
All feedback is going to be beneficial because I'm getting feedback. Thank you, Ann. Also, hold on, I lost my train of thought for a second. Okay, so here's the thing. And this is going to be a huge leap. If it is up to us, like if it's just Kip talked to my buddy Kip. I don't see him on right there. He talked about how we all could use sometimes not just a software update, but a firmware update. Like you got to go in on some old code. And I think there could be a firmware update where we all changed the line and we all walked around. What would it take for you? Okay. I know what I'm trying to say. It's just not coming out right. Give me a second. Isn't it just up to you whether or not you take all feedback as positive? Is it not up to you to make the decision to make the firmware update, to start to learn, to start to 5 stages of learning, start to get yourself towards thinking when someone even gives you criticism, well, I'm so glad I'm getting feedback. So I've go ahead.
I got a private message from somebody who wanted to share something, but they didn't want to share it. And they said it all depends on how the feedback is given. And if it's only negative with nothing positive, it is destructive.
Yeah.
That's it.
It can, but do I?
Jordan, your chess partner wants to say something too.
Okay, yeah, Jordan, go for it.
I was just going to add that, yeah, if you can make all feedback positive, that's kind of like a ninja level move, right? That's
Yeah.
You're
Okay,
really that good. I'm not that good.
Okay, wait a second. Wait a second.
Something to aspire to.
Yeah, but so we're going with like it's the thinking behind it works. It's rational. It should work perpetual motion machine wise. Okay, maybe let's talk math. Maybe we can asymptote towards it. We can get ever closer. We'll never get perfect at it. But can we do that? Can I ask that all of us take it in on ourselves to get better? I mean, maybe we can't get great at it, but we can at least get better at taking in all feedback as positive. It's radical.
Can I make a very semantic change?
Yes, Joe.
It's easier for me to go with your flow here if the word is beneficial and not positive.
Okay. Very cool. I'm going to take a break for a second because that was a lot. And
thanks for that great feedback.
Perfect, Rob. Thank you, buddy. Let me give just a little, if you haven't been here before, this is the Saturday service. It's a different way of looking at a religious service. It is, as I wrote, a web full of adults talking spiritual religious growth, moving towards freedom. I'm glad that you guys are here. This is cool. Let me make a few announcements. Do I have a few announcements? Yes, quick one. I got this in the mail. Hold on, let me zoom in on me. I got in the mail, we have our friend James, who is the only member of Religion Outside the Box who is not on the internet. And he thanked you all. He sent a holiday card, and then it folds out, and it has a little note to all of you on it. And I'll put it right here so you guys can see it. These are the moments where I feel really a lot like Mr. Rogers. Here's from James. To all my friends of Rabbi or friends of mine's. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you for supporting my big brother, Rabbi Brian, and for being love and light to me. I thank you all. If you have not written to James, Alex, would you please put James's address in the chat at this time? So please, yeah, he's doing like it's not worse. He's not getting transferred for at least a year. I don't know if I shared you that news.
I thought it was going to be sooner.
We had thought, and then it's not, and so he's bummed out. And so if you have it in you, send the man a note. Throw some extra stamps in because that's currency where he is. And just say hi. It's a fun thing to do. Nancy and Bob, you guys still have your hands up. You still questions or comments or?
Go ahead, Nancy.
Well, I was just going to say I've been in the 12-step program for it was 44 years last week. Anyway,
congratulations.
A very common saying is what other people think of me is none of my business. And that just helps us grow personally and become who we are. But in Al-Anon, there's an addendum to that, which is, but if enough people are telling me I got a tail, I'm going to turn around and look and see if I have a tail. So we are taking in the information, and we're not automatically saying, that was an insult, that person's wrong. That's just what makes feedback good. I get to decide for myself.
Amen.
If, other people's opinions can make my life better.
Thank you, Nancy. Absolutely, Bob.
And I was very much thank you, Nancy. That was something that I was looking at too, and I guess I question why are we trying to identify it as positive or negative, and
right. Good question.
that the helpful or not helpful is another person's opinion that is coming from their point of view, and that if they want to create a negative feeling within us, it's up to us to determine whether we're going to accept that or not.
Correct.
And
yeah.
that, so I guess that I have a concern or a question about why are we trying to address positive or negative on that.
It's good. And Bob, you also are leading me right back to where I wanted to be, which what Bob said, and he said it, not me. So I'm just quoting Bob here, is that how we take what someone else says to us is ultimately up to us. And I'm going to dip my toe a little bit. Now, if you were here, how many of you remember when we had the brouhaha about jealousy? We had jealousy being righteous indignation being jealousy with a halo. Remember that? That was the first time this whole group lit up, and we had.
You remember that well.
And then 2 weeks ago, I tried something, and I tried to have people practice doing what Bob was just talking. Bob was talking about it, not me just then. Bob was talking about how it is up to us when someone says something if we take it personally. And 2 weeks ago, we didn't. I tried doing that in small groups. It didn't work. And last week, I had what I am going to refer to you as my Hedwig and the Angry Inch. The Hedwig and the Angry Inch perspective. So, everyone's sitting nice and comfy. I'll tell you a story.
Once upon a
time, a bunch of years ago, I'm in Los Angeles, and I'm with my brother-in-law, Bob, and a friend of ours, Emma, and there's this musical called Hedwig and the Angry Inch, and we're all going to go see it. It was avant-garde. It was supposed to be a thing, so we go. We get to the venue, and the tickets had gotten screwed up, and I don't know what happened, but Bob and Emma went one place for seats, and I sat separately. Well, when the show was over, we all convened again, and I had thought it was a fantastic show. But apparently, from where they were sitting, it was not a fantastic show. And I was really surprised. Because I thought it was a really awesome show, and how could they, isn't that, if we had all been sitting together, we might have had the same opinion, but because we were in a different place, we saw two totally different shows. Okay, you all with me so far? Give me some nods. I can see you.
Didn't like Hedwig.
So, last week, I was so proud, and I said so, and you can go back and listen to last week's recording. And I was so proud to have said something along the lines of, okay, anyone with their hands up is a member of Kip's Shoshito level pepper fight club. And then I was so proud of people insulting each other, but it wasn't about the insulting each other. It was because people had the ability to practice the no thank you. That I had given people the ability to say, no thank you to your insult. I'm not going to take that. Thank you very much. And I was so proud of that. And I heard from somebody. And they said, here's all feedback is beneficial, right? That's the moral of the story here for today. All feedback is beneficial.
Are you kidding?
They said to me, well, they were in tears first, you need to know. And they said to me, when did you think it was a good idea? When you passed through it and you thought, Rabbi encourages people to be cruel to each other. At what point did you think, Rabbi, hey, I'll sign off on that? I'll sign off on, hey, that's fine. Great idea. Rabbi encourages followers to beat on each other. Well, that's not going to trigger anybody. Well, it did. Right? And all I could say, we went to 2 different sections of the theater.
Yeah.
We went to 2 different sections of the theater. We saw the same show, but really differently. And my ability to not be defensive and to hear her, well, now we can still be friends, right? So we're going to take a moment, as we usually do, to reflect on those who need some prayers, some healing help. And our friend Joe, as always, who moderates the chat, takes a list of people who we say prayers for. So Joe, if you go ahead with that list.
Okay, we have some job drama problems. Chad and Lisa, Ken and Joe, Carol, Margaret, Edward Carter, lonely people, Helen, Mary S., Planet Earth, and James.
And we are going to take a minute to think about all of these people and think about people everywhere who could use a little extra love, a little extra. So let's start when the clock here top of me says 8:22 and 30 seconds. And some people enjoy just looking at the screen and looking at each other during this time. I think that's cool. Okay. I want to ask my intergenerational award team member. Uh-oh, Annie, that's you. Did you just mouth shit? Was that it? But you're on mute? That's
There we go. We're here.
Fantastic.
That's Annie.
Annie, I got a question for you.
Yes.
Is it in your power to take any insult someone gives you and just say no thank you and not take it in as hard? Is that in your power? Can you do that?
Yes, but it's hard to do.
Yeah. Why is it hard to do?
Well, it depends what insult and who's giving the insult.
Yeah, that's true.
If it's your best friend, it's hard to take the insult. If it's a person at school or a colleague or whatever, it's kind of easy.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends how close you are to that person. Okay, related question, and then I'll leave you alone. Do you think it's up to people somewhat, not at all, a lot? Like, give me some descriptive word. Is it up to people to figure out how grumpy they want to be?
Of course.
You're not my daughter,
Yeah.
Rob. Did you say yeah, Annie? Okay, hold on, and then we'll get back to Rob. Hold on. But like how much? So it is up to people. 5% is up to them. 20%? 70?
20%.
At least 20%.
At least
Yeah,
20%. I don't think we're going to get a number for that, but okay, Annie, thank you for playing along. I appreciate it. That's my intergeneration.
Hi, Ron. Ron has his hand
Go
up.
ahead, Ron.
I think there can sometimes be physical reasons to be grumpy. And if I'm in pain, I can bite somebody's head off without really intending to.
Correct. Absolutely. Thank you, Ron. Thank you for bringing this back up. That was a huge hole in what I was. That would have been really bad to have not had that piece in there. Thank you. Yeah. There's also brain chemistry, folks, and let's not mess around. Okay. Thank you, Ron. Let me get back to this. Okay, so.
Well, I have a question.
Yeah,
about why is it necessary to respond? In other words, if someone does something, why is it necessary for me to say no, thank you? Externally, does that not encourage a continuation of the conversation or the situation?
If you think ignoring,
me to just internalize and say, doesn't make any difference. I don't need that.
I think it's totally up to you if you want to engage or not. And there's something to be said for either way. Sure, I'm with you. Shirley, what do you got, friend?
Well, I was thinking, when I feel that somebody may have insulted me, I don't always have the freedom because of my mindset at the time that somebody issues a criticism or whatever I might think it is. Because if I think somewhere inside of me what they said may be true, then I have an issue with it. If I can look at the source and be enlightened, which I'm not all the time, then I can say, oh, no, thank you. However, I think it boils down to our relationship with ourselves.
Right, and our brain chemistry on that day, and our practice. Are we practiced at taking it that everyone's insulting us, or are we practiced otherwise? Okay, I want to move us along, because I want to move us along to the next thing.
Okay, good.
I don't know. So here's a question. Does somebody have a list of, I've been doing these little God drops, and I think I remember there was somebody, I don't see them on screen right now, who told me that they were recording each time that I had said one of those.
Who was that?
Yeah, I think it was Maria.
It might have been Maria.
Yeah. So I have a question, and there's no, look, I don't know how many of you think that this is graded. It's not. You're all getting A's. I'm curious, are you taking notes when we all are talking? Are you scratching things down on index cards, or what are you doing?
I have a notebook in front of me.
You have a notebook? And again, there's no judgment. I'm just trying to... Chad and Lisa have paper and pencil.
3 different colors of ink.
Lots of colors. Okay.
I have a notebook, but it's not readable too much. It's quite illegible often, but nonetheless, I've done my best.
Yeah, Ron.
The really pithy stuff, I put on a little Post-it. I'm filling up the edge around my large monitor with the pithy stuff I picked up here.
I would love a photo of that if you would. At some point.
Let's see.
No. Not. You don't have to do that right now. That scares me. So I have this thought, which is the same way that I can't control which part of the theater you are sitting in. It dawned on me in preparing for today, I have very little say in what it is that you learn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have very little say in it. if you show up and you see a clergy person purposely encouraging people to be mean, I have very little control over what you saw. I have very little control over what you've learned. And so I want us to go into small groups. And you don't have to show up to a small group. You can always not go to the small group, and you stay here with me, and we keep. And sometimes I even tell really bad dad jokes, because that's the group of people who doesn't really want to interact. So that I just tell bad jokes. If you would like to stick back and hang with me, that's cool. If you'd like to go into a small group, Alex is going to set up small groups for 5 or 6 people, and we're going to take 8 minutes? Okay, take 8 minutes. And I'd love you to talk about what you are learning. And then when we come back from the small groups, I'd love to hear back out. What are we learning? What are we learning? If it's all right, can I hear back that we got what the instructions are? So let me hear back from somebody. No, a thumbs up just means you have thumbs. It doesn't. Give me some auditory. Somebody say something. Repeat.
What are we learning?
What are we learning?
Club.
Okay, so we're going to break into small groups, and when you're in small groups, you are going to talk about
What we're learning.
What you are learning, and then when we come out of the small groups, I'm going to ask members of each small group to present, and just give us an idea of what are we learning here. You got 8 minutes. Okay, now I'll take thumbs up before you go into your groups. Alex, they are ready for liftoff, or I don't know, some magic.
Send off.
Share in small groups like the wind.
Nobody's talking.
They're all going into their group.
What group are we in?
We're not in a group. We're staying out here so we can hear the bad dad jokes.
Okay.
Okay, who's here for the bad dad jokes?
I'm
Okay.
here to catch up on my notes.
Okay, before I start on the bad dad jokes, thank you for sticking around and doing the bad dad joke section with me. Do you know what makes a dad joke a dad joke?
Okay.
They're apparent.
They are apparent. Okay.
You know what makes what a dad joke does that mom jokes can't do? Well, mom jokes can go far. Dad jokes go farther.
Okay. Okay.
It's all right, Ann?
It's okay. When you said bad dad jokes, I really didn't know how bad.
Yeah, no. I go all the way, Ann, when I'm doing my bad joke. So, what goes ha, 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 plop?
Rabbi telling bad jokes.
No. Someone who just laughed their head off. Okay. Why don't cannibals eat clowns? That's easy. They taste funny. Okay. How about what did the cannibals give to the guy who showed up late for dinner? The cold shoulder.
Oh,
okay.
God. Terrible.
We're in
Even the cat didn't like that one.
What do you call a cow with no legs?
Leather jacket?
Ground beef. Oh, wait, it gets worse. It gets worse. Hold on. Get ready to squeeze something for this one. What do you call a dog with no legs? Doesn't matter. He's not going to come when you call him.
Oh.
You know what you can do with that kind of dog, though? You take him for a drag. That's awful. What do you call? Okay, what do you call a deer with no eyes? Do you know what to call it? Do you know what to call a deer with no eyes? No idea.
Lunch.
No idea.
Do you know what you could call a deer with no eyes and no legs? Still no idea. What do you get if you combine a elephant and a rhinoceros? If I know. Oh wait, do you want more? Okay.
Yes, let's have more.
Okay. Why'd Sally fall out of the tree? This is a terrible joke. My son likes this one. I'm sorry I'm telling it. Why did Sally fall out of the tree? She had no arms. It's horrible. Well, knock. Okay, knock knock.
Who's there?
Not Sally.
Yeah, this is getting now to the point of the guy with no arms and no legs jokes there.
Yeah, Bob. I know. Yeah.
What do you call? No legs floated in the ocean.
Oh, we went past the cannibalism jokes already.
Wait. Why do people in the Arctic only do their laundry in tide? It's too cold to do it outside. How do you catch a unique rabbit? Unique up on it.
Unique up on it. Yeah.
How do you catch a tame rabbit? Tame way.
I don't get it.
Tame way?
Okay.
Like same?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got it. I'm sorry, I was a little slow there.
It's all right. What did Tarzan... Oh, they're coming back. Whew. That was close.
No. Actually, we've got about two more minutes before I call people back.
Oh.
Jeff
Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
I just showed up.
Okay.
Sorry.
No worries. You're here.
Want me to not show up? I can not show up.
No. We will take you. I was running through really bad animal jokes. What did Tarzan say when he saw a herd of elephants coming over the hill? Hey, look, there's a herd of elephants coming over the hill. What did Tarzan say when the same herd of elephants were coming over the hill, but this time they were wearing sunglasses?
Run?
He didn't say anything.
He couldn't recognize them.
He didn't recognize them. Thanks. Yes. Right. How do you know there's been an elephant in your refrigerator?
Footprints in the lemon meringue pie.
There's a set of footprints in the lemon meringue pie. How do you know there have been two elephants in your refrigerator?
Because my cat did the same thing when she was a kitten.
Oh, no. Two sets of footprints in the lemon meringue pie. How do you know there have been three elephants in your refrigerator? 3 sets of footprints in the lemon meringue pie. How do you get a giraffe in a refrigerator? Open the door, take the 3 elephants out, put the giraffe in, close the door.
Oh, God. That's terrible.
King of the Jungle calls a meeting. Which animals don't show up? The giraffe. Why? He's in the refrigerator. There's a stream and it's usually infested with crocodiles. How do you get across? You swim. What about the crocodiles? They're at the meeting with the King of the Jungle.
Ah.
I feel like I'm working really hard here.
Sure.
Oh, breakout rooms are closing in 58 seconds. Oh, good. Well, thank you guys for joining.
It's Alma Lewis's birthday today.
Yes. We haven't seen her.
It's because she's partying.
Is there going to be at the end of the bad dad jokes to take that book and bury it so we can get a new one with better bad dad jokes?
No. You're going to take those jokes and you're going to like them.
That's the feedback you're asking us to give you?
That I'm taking it as a compliment. So there. I'm saying all the feedback is good feedback. Alrighty. Hi, Rita. You're back.
Clicked on the thing too soon. But hi, everybody, and I missed all the jokes.
They were.
Count your blessings.
Oh, I got some.
I see. Okay.
Boy, they must have been really bad jokes today.
They were
They were awful.
They were strong. They were definitely strong. Well, welcome back.
Can you share one?
Welcome.
Can you share one dad joke with us? Just
well,
one.
I could. Do you
Please,
know?
no, please.
Do you know? Do you know
Were
what
they
makes
that
a
bad
dad
yet?
joke? You know what makes a dad joke a dad joke?
What?
They're usually apparent.
Oh.
Very good.
Yeah, you're right.
They
I
were
see your
worse.
point.
They just
Sorry
went.
for all the people that
They went downhill from there. So,
Oh,
folks, I have a question, and it's like this. We're here at this service. A lot of you have been coming back for a long time. I'm curious what it is that you're getting. What are you getting out of this service? What are you learning? What are you taking with you? Why do you come? You're not coming for the jokes. I know that. So I would love to hear. I can ask by room number if the room number 1.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea, Brian. That's a great idea.
Thank you.
Go by room number.
Thank you, Joe. All feedback is appreciated.
There you go.
So,
Joe, you're number 1.
So room number 1 was with Amy, April, Jess, Lee, Ray, and Shirley. Any one of those people care to share on behalf of the group, and others will fill in if they miss something? What did you get, Amy, April, Jess, Lee, Ray, Shirley?
I guess I'll speak. I guess. Well, you know what we talked about was the owning or disowning compliments or insults, and it boiled down to, again, the relationship you have with the person that said it. And we were taking a look at unpacking that thing and how it affects us. And sometimes we are capable of letting go of negativity, and sometimes
we can't.
Soul search.
Yeah, thank you, Shirley. Thank you. Anyone else in that group want to tell Shirley what she missed, or is there somebody I can add? Thank you.
I also think that we talked about what we were getting out, what we were learning, and learning to be learning to be able to separate ourselves and from some of our anger, and how to better deal with that, and other things that affect us in that way. That's what I'm learning, is how to be able to look at all of that and how to sort of separate myself or modify it some way.
Thank you, Ray.
So that's me.
I appreciate that. Yeah. That not always reacting the way that we are habituated to doing it, but learning to change something up. That's powerful stuff. Room 2, Annie, Bob, Derek, James, Joe. Any one of you care to?
Sure. We tried to nominate Annie, and she didn't want to do it, so I'm going to do it. She did say about the bad dad jokes, just putting the 5 love languages. We've learned about that. We've learned that there are a lot of people here that we can call friends, and that there's opportunities for both taking in new information and giving information, stages of learning, that all people are on different levels of the learning curve, that we see things differently, even though it's the same words are said. Love is difficult, but worth it. And Bob added fun, that love is fun.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. That's great. I love how, no, right, already we have groups all different, answering the question differently. I think it's so fun. Interesting. Like, it really shows me I am really clear of what I thought I was asking, and that's not how it gets heard. It is just great. It's great, and it's humbling. Room 3.
The theater.
Room 3, Carol, Joan, Leanne, Nikki, Rebecca, Rose. Any one of those people care to? Carol, Joan, Leanne, Nikki, Rebecca, Rose. And the answer of we choose to pass is totally acceptable.
No, I'll say something. There are a few things that came up. One came up for me was coming here is learning how to be open to others' opinions, which to me is learning, which we've talked about. And it's also a safe, well, I didn't say this, but it's a safe place to do it. And when you say something and then you kind of go, oh God, I said that wrong or whatever. No, you're not judged by doing that. People will question you, but not in a nice way, sort of like a safe way, I guess. And then we talked about, the simplification of some of the things that we're trying to do is really, really difficult. And I think looking at that, the no thank you, that's pretty simplified, and how we react with our feelings and everything else. But I likened it to testing the waters. You don't just jump in. You put your toes in first. It takes practice.
Yeah. I love it. Thank you, Nikki. I love this idea that, right? If we can practice here, right? I think we can practice, and then we can practice in other places too. But isn't it neat to be able to give yourself because you know what? This is a Zoom service. Y'all can ghost at a moment's notice. We don't know how to find you again. So people who are taking chances and showing up and saying things and being vulnerable in a group, that's huge. And I'm not doing that. You are. You guys are bringing yourselves. I set a stage. I can set a table. But you guys are doing the work. Good. Amen. Amen. Let's go to group 4. Afia, Frank, Jordan, Ron, Steve. Jocelyn. Wait. Yeah, no, room 4. Afia, Frank, Jordan, Ron, Steve. Any one of those people care to share?
Steve, can I volunteer you?
I was going to volunteer Afia.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
We talked about recognizing a totally different approach to religion from the standard way we have been taught to think about it in other places. I shared about just learning about spirituality inside of me, and then how it relates to other relationships within me, and trying to control what's going on inside of me before it destroys the relationships outside of me. And a sense of, with your help and guidance in sharing sensitivity about how what we say affects others in the group, developing a sense of caring in the community, of accountability for ourselves, and working at not hurting others.
Yeah. This is a really special
piece
thing.
Of what we had. I'm sure I missed other things that if anybody else wants to pick it up, go ahead.
Thank you, Steve. As everyone else was volunteering each other, I could assume they're going to pass. Thank you, Steve. This is a different way of doing religion. It's pretty cool. Group 5, Bobby, Candace, Diane, Finn, Gord, Jocelyn, Ann. Well, that's a hell of a room. Anybody?
Well, I was so glad to be with Diane and to be face to face with the wonderful Finn and his dad. I think each person should speak briefly. I thought that what we were learning was how to become a better person.
Uh-huh.
Kind of left it at that, you know?
I love it. Okay. Thank you,
I
Candace.
came in with compassion, learning about compassion for ourselves and others, and just mindfulness seems to be an all-embracing concept here.
Yeah. Thank you, Gord.
The idea of being gentler to yourself and the world around you, so that it's easier to feel like a part of it. And
yeah, I love that. I love what you just said, Finn. Be gentler, and it's easier. Okay, that seems simple. Let's do that. Excellent, excellent. And anyone else from that group, or I'm going to move to group 6 for Ann, Chad, and Lisa, Harold, Jim, and Rita.
It was Diane. I didn't really get too much into what I was getting out of it because they pretty much have said what I was thinking.
Cool.
But I did talk about writing notes and
Okay.
how it triggers the memories of what we discussed.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Give me anyone else from room 6? Ann, Chad, Jim, Harold, Rita.
None of this.
Go ahead, Rita. Go ahead.
Oh no, you go. You go in.
Oh, everyone is so polite.
I talked about how each of us is on a spiritual path, yes. And our spiritual paths are not identical to each other, and that's fine. But we're each walking one, and sometimes we get distracted by something shiny and we end up going off the path, and we better be careful because we could end up in the poison ivy. And what Rabbi Brian helps me do is to learn how to recognize that's poison ivy over there and to help me stay on my own spiritual path and not end up in the weeds.
Yes.
And by poison ivy, we're talking metaphorical poison ivy because I don't know anything about the plant.
Yeah. The whole thing was metaphor. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure. Good, thank you. I lost where I am. I think in room 7. Yeah, Betsy, Eileen, Nancy, Rob, Shmuley.
Oh, there were just 4 of us.
Okay.
Yeah, Nancy
we talked about patience.
Patience is it.
And we talked about being sensitive to, because everybody has their own levels of insecurities about things, and that they may get the wrong impression if they're, if their hackles are up about something.
Yeah. We lose ourselves. And let's try room 8. Al, Ann, Bruce, Ellis, Emily. That's all of our rooms.
But one of the things that I said was that I learn about what I happen to need at the time. And the other thing is that I was just thinking about just now is what I'm learning is being here with all of you calls out my better self that I want.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Emily. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd add too, one of the things that Emily said about how we're all kind of learning what we need to learn. I think it was Ann who said that's why we all pick up different things sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought that was really profound.
Yeah. Thank you, Al.
So I also learned that religion and spirituality is fun too, and I love fun.
That religion and spirituality is fun.
Can be fun.
Can be fun. Well, if in the right hands, let's keep it that way. Yeah. Good.
Amen.
I was also saying that I view these exercises as sort of like a form of morality and ethics without religion. You know, it's basically, I call it mental hygiene, where we learn psychological things because spirituality is ultimately psychology. And so I like the teaching method of the acronyms and the little diagrams and stuff like that.
I'm glad it works for you. Thank you, Bruce.
Definitely fits in my mind better.
Me too. Thank you. I'm gonna pull us towards the end. A few announcements. One, I made it. I have to tell you guys, I'm back in again in good hands with a literary agent. That happened on Thursday. Had a long conversation with her. So that's really exciting. I'm a little bit overwhelmed by it, but it's really exciting. So more details to come. If you are on the Clubhouse, you are invited to, and oopsie, sorry. If you're on the Clubhouse, you are invited. It's not open to the public until Monday, but if you're on the Clubhouse, that's where it's going to be. It's going to have 3 session explorations of shame and belonging, and it's timed so that there are 2 sessions before Thanksgiving and 1 session after American Thanksgiving, because it seemed like exactly when we wanted to do things. So if you would like, that's in the Clubhouse. Alex will put a link in the chat for that. Also, very excited. The auction. There it is. The Between Hanukkah and Christmas online silent auction fundraiser. It is coming. We have a... Alex, what did I call that link? It was really clever.
The donation drop-off site, I think?
Yeah, it's the donation drop-off site because it's the website where you can drop off your donations. So if you have something that you want to have people bid on, the idea of the auction is you put up an item for have people bid on. They make a contribution to Religion Outside the Box at whatever that highest value was. You ship them the item or perform for them that service. The drop-off site, which I still think is clever. The link is in the chat. Thank you, Alex, for putting that in.
And what is the deadline for that? To put the what is the deadline for your cutoff for the drop-offs?
Yeah, it's on the list. I can't remember. I think we officially started. We go until the 17th. I don't know.
Around the 17th. Yeah.
You'll. Oh, thank you, Anne.
Yeah. So what we need right now on that form is all the details of what you're donating, and then we're going to put them up in, make them look pretty, and organize everything.
And a big
before we go live.
Big thank you to Jess and to Anne for helping with all the behind the scenes on that one. That's going to be fun. Other announcements? No, that's it. Please stick around for the next hour.
Thing?
Oh, did you
yeah, folks. Hey, this is tomorrow. I'm going to be running a program called Fun with Theology, an interactive Zoom talking to adults about the God of their understanding. It is free with donations requested. It is tomorrow at noon o'clock my time. So 12 Pacific. You guys are all invited. It's this exact same link. So you know how to get here. Stick around. Donut Hour is going to be with Joe. Yeah, I don't see Maria. And Deep Dive Al. I don't see a Kip. And then there's going to be a little bit of time in poetry because Ron found the perfect poem about being grumpy, and it was cute. So stop by the poetry room on your way in or out. I'm going to finish the recording here. Let me do it so everyone waves and says goodbye, and it's a good close the way that we opened. Thank you, guys.
Bye.